I'm telling you. Just wait. Look at the screen. No. Look at the screen. Okay, come on. Look at the screen. Come on. Don't be scared. Shh. Hang on. Just the screen. Oh my God. Hang on. She's scared of the movies. Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, June 30th. Snickles, get in front. This is Harrison Ford making a comeback for Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, June 30th. That's coming up pretty soon. Snickles, for real. And Guardians Galaxy is going to be great. All right, just do like a Indiana Jones, like you're whipping like you're a bullwhip. All right, here, get me. Hold it. Here, just get me like this right here. Okay, now just hold it towards Harrison Ford. No, that's towards you. There we go. Now you're a filmmaker. Catherine Bigelow. Here we go. All right, come on. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And then Renfield, John Wick. That's John Wick. That's Renfield. Harrison. That's not Harrison, it's Nicolas Cage. He wishes. Transformers. And then we've got Polite Society, which is Bollywood. Mario Brothers. And then Love Again. Renfield, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Indiana Jones on this side. Dolby 2. They have Dolby Cinema at AMC. And then Guardians over there. Dave & Buster's?
Yeah.
Boogeyman over there, and then some shark movie called Negro. Shark movie. Let's see what it's really called, though. Dun 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 dum dum Domino Negro. It's a shark movie. All right, we're at Dungeons and Dragons. This is basically what's showing. Go ahead and get the price on it. Or actually read what's about.
A charming thief and a band of unlikely adventures undertake an epic heist to retrieve a lost relic, but things go digitally awry when they run full of the wrong people on the hilarious and action-packed adventure.
All right, so it's Dungeons
2
and
hours
Dragons.
and 29 minutes. Ooh,
If we do
PG-13.
12 o'clock
On a Monday?
on a Monday, continue as guest. You can log in here. You're looking at 8:39 for matinee. If it's child from 2 to 12, 6:29. Seniors, 7:29.
Alright, so if you do it at 4:50 p.m., it's probably going to be $11.99.
Yeah, evening prices are a little bit different. You're dealing with right here.
$3.60.
$11.99, $8.99, and $10.99.
A card from my grandma.
Grandma card, but keep it upside down so we don't get addresses. All right.
2 months late, thanks to the post office. Oh, that looks like Rusty Dusty, not Edmund. I gotta hide this real quick. All right, March 11, 2023. Dear Linda, my precious granddaughter. Celebrate like a cat today. Eat, sleep, ignore everyone who annoys you. Have a happy birthday. Wish I was there to take you out for supper and celebrate the big 40. Thank you, Grandma. I'm 41, but I'll be 40. Lots of love, Grandma Mike.
Make sure don't do that for signature purposes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for handwriting analysis and
Oh, okay.
signature purposes.
What do you want me to do? Start again?
No, just don't.
Oh, yeah,
show,
that's true.
Yeah, don't
Yeah, that's
show the
true.
signature or handwriting.
Okay.
Just because you don't want to. I mean, you can.
Yeah,
but,
because
you
somebody
know,
can know the
Same thing
signature.
with like the check and things in the
Oh,
address.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Want me to start over?
No, that's fine. I got it. Unless you want to say thanks, Grandma, or whatever.
Thank you, Grandma, for the big 40th birthday. Love you.
All right. And then we'll be in David Buster. What reason why? Where's the card? David Buster card. Reason why we came in here is to charge and for where's the card?
Right here.
Okay, you put it on the phone. Okay, to get this because it's $3 to actually get one of these cards right here.
She put the right date, but she
Did she
thinks
put a
I'm
kitty
40.
cat? I'll read it in just a minute.
She thinks I'm 40.
That's why we came in here to get those. So her grandma has, it's more light anyway. Her grandma has an RV.
Correct. And she's headed somewhere differently, which is northwest. But we will not disclose it.
She's part of the
right
not
now.
people.
And I asked her if she'd been there before, and she said, I don't think so.
She goes to Maine. That's where Stephen King lives. She'll take the RV to Maine. It's a long drive. What is that, 3,000 miles? About 2,500? All the way from Maine, or actually all the way from the very end of Florida to the tip of Maine is probably 3,000 miles.
All right.
All right, so we're back. Stonebriar Mall, which is in, what, we're Frisco? Frisco. H&M, we know that's Hannes and Moritz, or Hannes and Moritz. Stonebriar Center, AT&T, Smoke and Oak, Wood-Fired Pizza and Tap Room, Kidzania, Dolby AMC, Barnes & Noble Bookseller, Cheesecake Factory is where we ate, Nordstrom is really, really cool, Dave & Buster's is where we're going next. And that's where I had my Aqua Velva the last time. It's basically a drink that's in the movie The Zodiac, which is by David Fincher. Robert Downey Jr. drinks, he plays Paul Avery. You ready for David Buster's?
Yes, of course.
All right, let's go, come on. We're gonna play some stuff at Dave & Buster's. I got the card, so we don't have to pay the extra $3 for the Dave & Buster card. So remember, if you don't have the card, then it's an extra $3. And that's where we're going, right there. Game On. All right, so we're headed there. We've got the game card for Game On. And it's fun, starts here. We did a vlog here before. It's a very extensive vlog. There's gonna be tons of copyright. But I just wanted to document the fact that I had an Aqua Velva because I never drink. I drink like one time a year, really. And we went to the bar and I had one. And I talked about the Zodiac too, because we did a song called The Zodiac Killer. It's basically, the lyrics are on Wikipedia. It's basically what's on Wikipedia. It's what the very beginning part of it. All right, once the music kicks in, I'm gonna turn it off. All right, we got a lull, and I may do another Aqua Velva in honor of Zodiac, David Fincher. But the other guy here, oh, it's a chick. I'm gonna see if she knows anything about the Aqua Velva. Hi. Do you know what an Aqua Velva is? Have you heard of Aqua Velva? Let's read it. What is it? It's Aqua. It's vodka.
Gin and blue carousel.
Vodka, gin, and blue carousel. Okay, and that's the Aqua.
Splash of Sprite?
That's it? It's just 3? Vodka, gin, and blue carousel. Correct?
Is it a 3 Sprite?
No, it's vodka. It's vodka, gin, lemon, lime, and blue caracha.
But lemon lime soda or lemon lime like sour mix?
You could probably get away with 7-Up or Sprite. I'm thinking lemon lime on both. Or if you have a lemon and lime, you could squeeze it in there. All right, so this is for low battery. You can rent it right here for how much? It's 5 minutes, and then you can return it too. So rent and return right here for low battery. This is what, called carousel?
I don't know. I just
Carousel?
C-U. No.
Carousel.
I do sign language.
So what it has is 3 basic things: vodka and gin.
C-U-A-R-C-O. C-U-O. What's that, like a Mexican?
Vodka, gin, lemon lime, and carousel.
Bathroom and stuff on a
Ready,
sailboat. You don't have a bathroom. So really, you
2
okay.
and 3.
David Buster's.
Pretty good. That's Aqua Velva. It was drunk by Robert Downey Jr. He drank it in the Zodiac. That's how I found out about it. And he played Paul Avery, the guy that tried to track down the Zodiac Killer. We wrote a song called The Zodiac.
Killers.
Let's call it Zodiac.
Oh, it's a Caribbean island, huh?
Can I say it real quick? Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Let's see what
This
careful with the phone.
is Carousel. It's actually an island.
Is it, you said it's 99.
Basketball.
So you get food plus a power card. So you're only paying $9.99 for that.
Oh wow.
So it's like one
$9.99?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's $29.99, but you get a $20 power card.
Okay.
We don't know how much the games are yet. So. The skater ring thing, back from the 80s.
All right, so our next step is to load the card. Had a little bit of Aqua Velva, but not the whole drink. We shared one. And then we're gonna load the card, and then we're gonna play a little bit of games. I'm at about 20%, so we're not gonna really be able to get all of it. We have to load the card first. Do you have the cash? All right, so our next step is to go, well, we're going up, but we're going to go to, what do they call it, the game floor?
David Buster's game floor.
We're gonna see if we can let anybody else in. We're being elevator operators right now. Okay, now we're gonna close. Let's see if it actually works. That's the button that supposedly doesn't work. Then, we're gonna go downward here, right here, and put money on our Dave and Buster game card. Right here, game on. Game on, Wayne. Game on, Garth. Was it Garth? Garth, right, Garth. Open Sesame into Dave and Buster's.
No.
And then we're gonna plan on talk about it later.
That looked like a cross. Welcome to our world. And welcome to this band. What band is this?
The band's called Yes.
Woo! I feel like I'm a new life.
The band's called what? That's called
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's called Yes.
Not toadies.
The band is called Yes.
Yeah, $5.
What's the band
Yes,
called?
like him.
Yes.
Oh, no.
No, it's called Yes. Y-E-S. The band is called? What is the name of the band? The band is Yes, right? Say yes.
Is it really called Yes?
Yes, give me a kiss. All right. Air hockey all the way, baby. I'll challenge you. The price is $13.2. Hey, ask the bar on the basically the power card if you can charge from the bar. We'll ask the bar.
Last time.
7.5. There's probably enough. Want to tap?
Well, we have
Super Mario.
We have to make sure that we do. They don't give you enough time to pick beginner and intermediate or advanced. Or you have to pick,
Yeah, we played it last time.
but you have to make sure you do the right one. Otherwise, you're racing against other people. So we're
Gotcha.
gonna do beginner. And then I will,
All right. Thanks for the please subscribe show and coming in tonight. We're gonna have to. We got battery to worry about right here. Okay, yeah. We're gonna try to get on Super Mario. We'll see y'all next time. God bless. Good night. Godspeed. I think it's, was it God bless, good luck, Godspeed. Sweetie, one last kiss right here. Well, at least for tonight. All right, got it. Waiting for you. Normal, go normal mirror or just normal?
I don't know what.
Do normal. All right, Super Mario Kart. Remember, jump. Jump is accelerate and brake at the same time. I'm gonna try it a couple times. She beat me last time. I'm gonna see if I can get this going. I've only got like 10%. All right, which one are you doing?
Oh, that's a trip.
All right, we're gonna give it a try. Last time I super concentrated, we're gonna be underwater. Well, maybe not, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Today's race brought to you by Jack Cruz.
We're at 3, 2, 1.
Everyone is off to a strong start. Car number 1 Luigi has picked up the pace.
Underwater. Whoa, baby.
Red shell. Kart number 2, Toad makes a perfect pass. Kart number 1.
Doing a one-handed driving.
The others are having a taste of defeat. Peach can't dodge.
It didn't work.
Kart number 2, Toad has a big lead. Peach ran over Newspaper. Kart number 2, Toad maintained lead. Toad grew back from the plant. Kart number 2, Toad is pulling away now. Kart number 2, Toad is dominating the top position. We are entering the final lap. There's just one more lap to go. Kart number 2, Toad can stay ahead of the pack. Kart number 2, Toad grew back from the plant.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kart number 2, Toad can't dodge from the plant.
She did it again.
Here's the last corner. The goal is right before Toad.
Banshee.
Kart number 1.
There she goes. She got it. Good job, Linda, right here. She beat me twice in a row. She's a Mario Kart champion. Yeah, she got me. I don't know how to speed up really. I just go with the thing. Anyway, Linda beat me. Good job, Snickles. Twice. She got me twice. I beat her at air hockey though. The physical world, I got her in the physical world. Right here, but she got me at Super Mario. My sister could beat me at go-karts too. Don't know how. They're good drivers. Plus, I was driving with a little Aqua Velva. All right, we're here at Dave & Buster's in front of Hyper Pitch. So it's known as Hyper Pitch. I'm getting my hair cut in the next couple days, hopefully. There it is, Hyper Pitch. And we're gonna get a photo. You ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then oh my gosh, kind of bumped. All right, so we're headed back up. That was Dave and Buster's at Stonebriar Mall with Linda and Cole. And we're headed back up. The doors will open. This is kind of symbolic for stuff. That's why I like it good. And they have a really nice bar on the second floor. So you can kind of see it right there. And then we'll be walking out probably, I think, maybe this way? Yeah, it'll be this way. This will be fine. They're all the way from California. All right, sweetie. Have a good one, okay? Give me a kiss. Be safe, okay? All right. I'm Cole, and you are?
Linda Gray.
Okay. And we're at the Please, this is the Please Subscribe show in front of Stonebriar Mall. Thank you for watching tonight. And enjoy your evening. And good night, good luck, and Godspeed.
No.
So Stonebriar has Dillard's, Nordstrom, Hyatt Regency, Perry Steakhouse. That's actually really good. Smoke and Oak, Woodfire Pizza, JCPenney's, Macy's, AMC Theater, Cheesecake Factory, Dave & Buster's, Dick's, and Kidzania. And if you go in to get a Dave & Buster card, it's $3 to start on it. We played Super Mario Kart. It's actually, Super Mario Kart is surprisingly fun. It's, we played a couple of games where we raced, but you kind of get lost in it a little bit. But I couldn't figure out the brake and accelerate jump thing. I think you have to press the button at the same time. I don't know. There's some way to do it. It's very similar to the Nintendo one, only they have it like where you sit down and all that kind of great stuff. All right, we got to go back to Edmund, Tuxedo Cassavetes, the cat, and we'll check in a little bit later. This is going to be a pretty hefty vlog. I got some really good stuff, you know. I think this educational aspect of it may be something, because we went to the library and we practiced typing and we practiced some kind of science thing. Patricia sent me an ugly message from, I guess, New York. She's an NYU student. You know, you can't harsh on one thing bad that happens. You can't harsh on it too bad. People lose control sometimes so they can know the other person better. It's not a good thing, okay? It's not a good thing to lose control. But sometimes when you do that, you know a person better. And I'm not talking like a physical thing. I'm talking about like a mental thing, you know, where you become mentally controlling or you become controlling. Sometimes it's because the other person wants to know them better, and there's only so much you can know on a person. You know, Thomas Wolfe talked about it in Look Homeward Angel. He felt that nobody really knew one another, which I thought was an extreme, kind of a radical thing to say. He'd say nobody really knows anyone, because he was saying that God is the one that knows you, you know, but you can only know someone so well, even your own spouse. There's a limit to how well you can know them. Jesus Christ is the one that's going to know you the most. He's the one that's going to know you the closest. And this can come before relationships, some sprinklers right there, and all kinds of stuff. This is stuff we learn in life. Anyway. All right. Over and out. May 9, 2023. It's about 9:43 p.m. Try and the Please Subscribe show to be honest, but I also, sometimes I am rude. Okay, sometimes I'm mean and I'm over religious. Patricia, she's an NYU student, film student. She says I'm too religious and I can be controlling, I guess, you know, in my show at times. And she shamed me on being too religious and I guess using discretion or judgment against others too much. And I agree with her. So I'm not saying, Patricia, wow, you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? Because Patricia and I have gotten in a fight. She's NYU. She's, I think, Tisch Film School. So she's way up there. She probably knows Scorsese, or at least his people. And she's got on Netflix and all kinds of stuff. I've said all this stuff about Scorsese because I really feel this way. It's not because it's true. Like I said, I bring up delusion. Am I really running for the president of the United States? No. But we used to joke about this kind of stuff whenever we were taking psychology at Wesleyan. My friend Jason, who later became kind of a psychologist and later got into helping being a tech and helping people in having mental problems and things like that. Jason told me, he said, you know, we were reading about these people that had shown complete insanity in their life in like one day or one moment. And there was a professor that took a knife, or it was like an axe, I think it was an axe, and he threw it across the room and it stuck in the wall, and he told everyone in the classroom, I'm the president of the United States. And so we laughed, Jason and I laughed, because people go that crazy. They go that crazy. It happens to people at times. So I've invited that type of insanity for the vlog, but not to be the representation of the vlog. I'll talk about Revelations. I'll talk about Jesus. I talk about Adam the Woo. I talk about Jordan the Lion. I talk about all this stuff because it's what's on my mind. Do I think dragons are going to show up at the end of the world? Yeah, I actually think that. Okay? Are they here now? Not that I can see. Am I the president of the United States? No. But could I Could I start up the New Liberty Party that's in the Men Too movement? You know, the men, okay, Men Too movement. Could I start something like that? Well, yeah. Look at Fight Club. Now, of course, Brad Pitt was playing a fictional character, and I don't know all the characters' names, with Edward Norton, and they were playing like Fight Club. Now, is the Men Too movement real? Well, I think we are men too. Do we talk about Men Too movement? Yeah, we talk about Men Too movement. Is it easy to say, oh, Cole's just a nut? Well, yeah, but that doesn't solve the issue of everything. Oh, so-and-so's a nut. Well, Barry Plantain, or whatever his name is, Plantain Barry, he had his own radio station in Dallas and was killed by a KKK member or a white supremacist member. He was shot outside of his vehicle. Barry Plantain, they call him Bear. He was talk radio, Oliver Stone. Now, that may have been a fictional name. Yeah, Oliver Stone turned another guy into a fictional character. I don't remember his real name. Chase Pruitt played him in Texas Wesleyan. He also went to the actor studio. But Barry Plantain, or whatever his name was, represented a radio disc jockey that challenged the world in a perspective. He dissed white supremacy. He did not like the Jews. Well, no, he did like the Jews. He was Jewish. Sorry about that. So he liked the Jews. I'm sorry. He did not like the white supremacist. I don't know who he didn't like, but regardless, he was killed by white supremacists. I don't think he was a white supremacist. That's right. So he would have been a favor of the Jews. Yeah. Okay. So he was Jewish, but he was a radio talk show guy that was radical. Okay. And people would get on his show and he would just kind of chew them out and kind of make fun of the redneck movement, the hick movement, the KKK, all the racism that was floating around in the South. He liked to tap on it and say, look, call me up, I'll chew you out. I'm Barry Plantain, or whatever his name was. And he got killed right outside of his radio station in Dallas. He was gunned down by a Zod member or whatever. And I've seen that Oliver Stone movie, talk radio. But I think he spoke his mind, and it got him in trouble, and it got him killed. And I don't want to be that kind of radical, but that's what comes out of Dallas. You know, another guy was called Lenny Bruce, but he self-destruct with a drug, and I believe it was heroin, that killed him. And some people say the Black Panthers got him because he used the N-word so much. That was a radical, right? When I have a delusion, okay, and I keep it quiet, then it stays a delusion. And it starts to build, and that seed, that delusion becomes too much. But if I voice the delusion, it really makes me look like a nut. But all of a sudden, I'm talking in a mirror, but I'm also talking to you, and you could maybe make a comment. Why not run for the New Liberty Party? Well, we could get it started. Campaigns have started on delusion. And what we represent a new type of liberty. Okay? A way of speaking our minds on what we want to do. Backed by men and the Men Too movement, stating that we are men, we have the right to be men, and if we're wild men, then we can be wild men. But we have to be, to a certain degree, civil and follow certain rules and guidelines. And I do not like to use the word law, because I'm in Christ. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it makes any sense. It means that I don't like to sit there and get legalistic, because I'm in Christ. I've been saved by the Lord. Okay? And a lot of those guys sometimes are radical. They don't have to be. You don't have to be a calm, mediocre, boring Christian that goes and gets coffee and just talks and shoots the breeze with the guys. You can be a radical. As long as you keep it whatever, and I talk about having assault rifles and all this stuff. I think Americans should be armed. I think we should be armed. I think it's out of hand, but I think the police need to step up and be the first to carry the stun guns, or at least carry non-lethal. Because they're representation of a force that sometimes we don't get to control. And why is the state always right? Why is the government always in the right? You know, if you don't have the radical, then you never have George Washington. You never have the revolution. The revolution dies because of too much order within a power like a government, and everything just dies and becomes dull. So I think you have to be a radical. Even if you're not completely making complete logical sense, you're at least saying, look, there's a way out of this complacency. And I'm not saying that you have to go out and buy an M60 or a bazooka. But I think that we should be able to protect ourselves against a tyranny. Because what about a tyranny did rise up? How are we going to protect ourselves? And we need radicals out there that are saying, okay, listen, you put away yours and I'll put away mine. You know? And that's not that radical to say. That's all I wanted to say on that right there. But I know I mentioned vloggers and things like that. I'm going to show you where I used to live in the nighttime. This is the same field that we lived, well, where we lived beyond that. We lived in those apartments. But we hung out in the field a couple of times. And there used to be these coyotes that would come running along in that field right there. And you could hear them yelling and yapping and screaming at night when they would trap an old dog or domesticated dog or go after some type of wild animal and tear it apart. You could hear it right out there. That's where I got the idea of Grace, the werewolf movie. And this is the First Baptist Church of the Fields. Linda and I had actually gone here once and heard a sermon. All right, I just wanted to show that, and then I'm going to be heading back. All right, if that made any sense, I'm sorry. Make a comment, you know. It's okay sometimes not to make sense, and actually stop making sense, you know, at times. We'll head back. By the way, that Jewish disc jockey was played by Chase Pruitt in a play called God's Country. And the reason I mention that is because these vlogs are a little like a radio show at times. I just wanted to, you know, throw that in there. Because a friend of mine, or a person that I've seen on stage, I'll just put that, he's more of an acquaintance, he played this important character, and it was brought attention in the 90s, in the Oliver Stone movie, Talk Radio. They called him Barry. And he had his own, I guess it was like a pretty commercial radio station. It was, everyone listened to it. Because he was challenging racism that was in the South. There were a lot of people that are against racism. I personally am. But I'm not going to lie to you. Racism is a problem that I have. And that's the contradiction thing. When I say that and I voice it, then I'm being honest with you. Barry probably had it too. But he didn't tell people he did. Because he wasn't, you know, his show was commercial. It was important to him. So he may have lied. But he may not have. I don't want to be. But I've been a racist before. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a racist. And I want to learn how not to be a racist. And that's to guard yourself against it. And maybe to say, well, listen, I was being racist. I'm sorry. I have to relearn. I have to learn not to be. Because I've been stopped in my tracks. So we see a movie or we see a play like God's Country, and we see the racism. One of the guys was nailed to like this cross by these skinheads. They actually really did this. It was reported. They nailed him to, it was almost like, no, it wasn't really a cross, but it was like a 2x4. And they nailed his hands to like a 2x4 because they had gotten out of hand. You know, and it can get out of hand. So you first, to stop it, you go, okay, I am a racist. Now I need to stop being a racist. That's how we stop it. The delusions are there. Is racism a delusion? I think so. It's a form of a delusion. Delusion and illusion are very similar. So we lose our way, we have this speech, we have this soapbox, and we lose our way, then we find the genius in it. Because it starts with ignorance and it goes to genius. It starts in the dark and the light comes. The light comes on. And we realize we need to stop. I like celebration. I was taught about multiculturalism in North Texas. When I attempted to be a teacher, I avoided teaching mostly because I did not agree with them teaching certain things. And later on, when I became baptized, I realized that Darwinism is not always the answer, that there is intelligent design. we didn't talk about it a whole lot at UNT because UNT was a state school. We might have mentioned it at Wesleyan because I took New Testament at Wesleyan and I took world religion. I took 2 different types of things at Wesleyan. I also took theater arts on both spectrums. I took theater arts at Texas Wesleyan. I took theater arts at UNT. There was 2 different approaches. One more European, I'd say the other more American or New York style. Udo Hagen, and the other one's more Jerzy Grotowski, Polish theater kind of thing. Meaning there was more of a rich education at University of North Texas by Marjorie talking about Jerzy Grotowski and toward the poor theater, which I would not have got that education from Wesleyan. I was getting an education more like Peter Brook, and I was getting an education like Udo Hagen at Wesleyan. Okay, so there is different. I'm probably overeducated, but there's different forms and fashions to theater and the way that we try to express ourselves for different reasons. But when racism becomes its ugly face, we have to first stop it by saying, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is how I'm thinking wrong. It's going to create hatred in my heart. It's going to be ugly to look at, and I have to stop it. I scared my second wife with it at one time. It's a demon that can enter you, and you have to exorcise it out and say, I'm being mean because I think my nation's number one. I care about my people, and I do, but I have to care about other nations that possibly they're weaker, or they're smaller, or they are not as big in numbers. Because there's a lot of power in the Baptist church. There's a lot of power in Catholicism. Even though I've shamed Catholicism because I thought as a Protestant, these people cannot be reformed, and that's not true either. Because the Catholic could have the same frame of mind about who Jesus Christ is as opposed to the Protestant. They could have the same frame of mind, and I don't even know. So the enemy sets his lines down. He says, these are the rules I want you to play by, and you have to say, I don't want to play by those rules anymore. I can love these people. I can love the Catholic. Now, about Mark Wahlberg and Bradley Cooper. Now, I'm not going to put them before Congress because I don't have that kind of power. But if people are dealing drugs, and I'm not saying that they are, but they played characters that have. They have. And if people are dealing drugs to special people to profit off that, I don't think it should be in the hands of powerful writers. Do I know that that's going on? I actually don't. I've been thinking about it all night. I don't know. I don't know Bradley Cooper. I've never met him. But I've shamed him because he became a symbol. I shamed Mark Wahlberg because he was a symbol and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand him. Now, if I would have lied about it, then I would just have secretly be shaming him and have some hatred or something. So do I know these people? No. Do I have the power to go, you're going to step before Congress, and if you really did deal drugs and you really did do these things, then we're going to blacklist you. And no, I don't think that's necessarily true. But I'm not going to cover it up because it was a real delusion, and it was something that I wanted to speak out against because I am anti-drug, okay? I don't think drugs should be given to special people. I don't think they should because it hurts that person. It can damage them. And certain people can't handle it, and it ends up killing them. So I am against it. Marijuana, I don't think it's the right influence. But are we going to shut it down? And no, we're not going to. California's practically legalized the whole thing and get out a vending machine. Do I think we should be able to get out a vending machine in Texas? A vending machine in Texas for recreational purposes? Well, CBD has shown its ugly face in the fact that, yeah, we can take this thing that influences us, we can put it in a vending machine, and the government will eventually tax it, and it'll become like beer. It'll become like the new beer or the new cigarettes. And it's still not good influence. Not in my book. Not in my church. Not in my home. I don't want any special person or any person to be messing with that and it to be accessible to where it becomes part of their life, Because the marijuana smokers are avid believers that it's the problem solved. It is the way to solve all the problems. Just smoke a little weed and you'll be perfectly fine. And I don't think always that's the case, because it can lead to emphysema, it can lead to maybe cancer, and it can lead to other problems. So I want you to know that I'm not pro-green, I'm not pro-marijuana, but I'm okay with saving the environment, but I'm not pro-marijuana. I'm not that way. What Texas decides to do, I don't know, but I don't think it should be given out in vending machines. I think it should be monitored. But a lot of people would say that's good, because the dealers and the people like that don't get taxed and they can survive. So there's a good and bad to thinking that way before you're like, okay, I want the government to come in, regulate it, and then tax it, and then put chemicals on it like they do with cigarettes, and boom, that's not going to solve the problem. It's like solving alcoholism with more alcohol. And I think alcoholism is even worse. And a lot of people have made comments that alcoholism is worse. It is. Did I have a single drink? I drink like one drink maybe the entire year. I had a couple of sips from the Aqua Velva, a couple of good sips off of it, and maybe it helped me come to conclusion on something, but it didn't solve my problems. You know, it's not what I thirst for. I'm a foodie or whatever, you know. I guess maybe I can only nail the points so clear, you know, but I don't want to see this country have like this opium problem. I'm not saying opium's legal, because it's not. There's a time to stop. Opium is very dangerous and it can kill you. It's not going to be compared to marijuana. So I have heard something about seizures and marijuana helping, and so, you know, I'm not seeing maybe all the sides to it, but I don't want this country just to lay back and just get high, especially like driving high or whatever, you know. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see them find comfort in an influence that's artificial. And I think that marijuana is somewhat artificial. It's not part of your life. When you're a young kid, you're not given marijuana in kindergarten. And if you were, a social worker would come in and take your children away. So if you're a child of God, why would God want you strung out on marijuana? He'd want you sober so he can work in your life. That's where I go back to. The sobriety is important. It takes a while to argue this point, because you're going to try to argue with me saying, no, sobriety is not where we need to be. Well, I disagree. Sobriety is where we need to be. We need to find it and hang on to it so God can work in your life, because I feel that it's a cloud between you and God. Get rid of it. Be sober. Men Too movement is a sober movement. We're a sober movement about finding sobriety so we can have our dexterity that we need to accomplish our goals, because the enemy wants to take away that dexterity and shame you. God bless. Good night and good luck. All right, I do want to hit upon a sensitive point about alcohol, especially wine. The Bible does say, and it does say this in the Bible, that wine is a gift. Now, it says it's a blessing, but to be drunk is a curse, okay? There are religions, there are people that believe they can worship with wine, okay? This goes all the way back to Dionysus and the city of Dionysus and the god of fertility. Aphrodites. So it even goes back even probably further. And in some other religions, people use wine as kind of maybe a way of worship. But I have to stand strong about this one point. Me being raised by the Baptists, when John the Baptist gave up all strong drink, all liquor, all strong drink, and even wine for pretty much his life, just completely abandoned wine, or just completely got rid of wine to honor God, okay? I feel strongly that a person can do that as much as he can having the wine every once in a while. Do you see what I'm saying? There's some that don't have wine at all, and they don't have strong drink at all, like ever. Okay? Many Baptists are that way. They drink grape juice instead of wine. If they take communion, they do grape juice instead of wine. Even in today's church. The Presbyterians don't. The Presbyterians will have wine with their communion. The Catholic will have wine with their communion. I am not cursing that. I am not putting that down. It's a sensitive issue. But I'm not cursing it. I feel both have the right to worship any way they want to. You know, they can have a little bit, or they can have... Now, we have to be careful, because in the Bible it does say to be drunk is a curse. It says to be drunk is wrong, that it's a sin. Oh, kitty.